Hi, I'm going to talk about a theory of communication that it's called communication accommodation theory. First, I will talk about its origin and authors of it. The theory originated in 1973 when Howard Giles came up with this theory while he was working in the University of California, Santa Barbara. He called it initially speech accommodation theory. Then several authors have developed the initial theory, among which we can find Tania Ogay, Jessica Gasiorek, and Wendy Samter as the most known. Answering to the question of what does it tell us or what does it explain, the communication accommodation theory, it is also known as CAT. It is basically a description of how people regulate and adjust their communication during interactions. It occurs when people try to emphasize or minimize social differences of the person they are interacting with. The theory also encompasses nonverbal communication and gestures. This behavior is aimed at obtaining approval and a positive image against whom we communicate. Answering to the question of what is the main idea of this theory, communication accommodation theory is a general theoretical framework for both interpersonal and intergroup communication. It seeks to explain and predict why, when, and how people adjust their communicative behavior during social interaction, and what social consequences might result from such adjustments. This entry provides an overview of what constitutes accommodative and non-accommodative moves. In terms of the epistemology, ontology, and axiology of this theory, talking about epistemology, there is an emic approach in the theory proposed by Giles because there is a subjective approach to reality. According to the fundamentals of the theory, it is based on observation and qualitative research. There is an interaction with people and an understanding of their behaviors towards others in different situations. In terms of ontology, there are two types of ontology. In the case of this theory, it is relativism, because reality here depends on the context. So there are multiple realities and it changes in different situations. Each situation and the result of it can be used only in similar cases and contexts. It is not generalizable. Talking about the axiology, since the theory is applied to human actions, we have to talk here about ethics. These ethics mean that the researcher makes an assessment about what is good and wrong and reports about his or her values and subjectivities. In this case, it is possible to talk about good because the behaviors of the communication accommodation seek to minimize social differences in order to have a better understanding in a conversation. Um, an example that related to this class and something that happened to me, I have tested this theory in reality and applying to the topics that we have studying. The communication accommodation is something I think we all apply in every intercultural encounter that we have. For example, in my case, when I was an exchange student, I lived in Germany, and anytime I tried to speak German, people used to notice my accent and infer that I was not good at speaking the language. So they started to accommodate their language and speak slow and with easy words and using an easy language so I could have a good understanding of what they were trying to say and in order for me to have a better understanding of it. These are the references that I use to do my project and to research about the communication accommodation theory. Thank you very much.